Okay, so what we're going to do to start the class is, you know, those photographs that I gave you the link to the photographs on the calendar with all the various photos of Queens in the past relating to transportation. So Oleg is going to break us up into groups. How many do we have, Oleg? How many students?
Okay, we have 13 people, 13 students. I created 6 rooms, 6 groups. Last group, it's 3 people inside.
All right, so we have 5 groups of 2 and 1 group of 3. Oleg created. Before you go into
Yep.
your groups, what I want you to do in your group, you each have a favorite photo, right? In a group of 2 and a group of 3. So first thing you have to agree on is which is the favorite photo of the group. It'll be easier for 2 than 3, but you have to pick one photo from each group and then talk to each other about that photo, answering the question of who's in the photo. You may want to write this down. Who's in the photo? What's in the photo? Why do you think the photo was taken? Where was it taken? And when was it taken? All right. So those are 5 questions that you as a team of 2 or 3 have to answer about that photo. Okay. And then you'll come back in 15 minutes and we will talk. Each group will report in. And I, as the professor, will add my thoughts about the photo. You'll take notes because I'll be another source of information, and then you'll write about it. And that'll be your writing assignment for today's class. Because every class, according to the outlines of a WID class, which is writing in the discipline, every class we write in class and then we write outside of class to improve your writing style. So I'm not grading this week. I'm just, as you saw, I'm just getting it back to you with corrections. So this is really not a week of me grading you. It's a week of you getting used to me and the whole idea of writing short assignments every week. Does anybody have any questions before we break up into the groups?
Professor, I'm not clear about the questions, how many questions, and about the picture.
And what was your second part of what you said?
No, we have to speak about the picture. So what kind of question, I forget it.
Okay, I'll repeat the questions. And Oleg is going to put a link in the chat so you can look at all the pictures that are in that calendar. But basically the questions are 5 questions, which are the 5 W's.
Okay.
Who's in the picture? What's the picture about? Why was it taken? Where was it taken? And when was it taken? And let me give you a warning. You may not be able to answer all 5 questions, but I'll help you when you come back. So don't get frustrated if one of the questions you say, I can't answer this. All right. Zakar, did that help you at all?
Okay.
All right.
Link in the chat. Oh, hold on.
Okay, did we just get another student join us, Oleg?
Yeah, looks like. Yeah, looks like.
All right, Arbaz. Hello, Arbaz. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so that makes 14. Lucky that we have 14, not 13. And so
Make it another
7 groups.
Make it another group.
7 groups.
7. Okay, hold on.
Okay, so to repeat for Arbaz, who just joined us, we're breaking up into 7 groups of 2. You're to agree within your group what is your favorite photo, answer the 5 W's, and then come back to class, and each group will report out. I will add to the information, and then we're going to write about the photo. Okay? Everybody ready to disappear? It's so weird.
Guys, check link in the chat.
All right, did you hear Oleg? Say it again.
Check link in the chat. I sent that link to the chat.
To look at the photos, you mean?
Yeah.
All right. So now you're gonna all
Okay, I open. Yeah.
Go ahead, Oleg, do your magic. See you in 15 minutes.
1, 3, 2, 1.
from being disappeared. Hello, 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 hello. And back from California, Camilla will do her San Francisco, LA dance for us, but I will do my little dance too. Welcome back, welcome back. Okay, now Oleg, we can share the screen and who wants to, which group wants to be, there are 7 groups, so which group wants to be first to present their group? Group 1, where are you in group, where's group 1?
I'm group 1, me and Atta.
Okay, so which picture did you pick?
The Queensboro Bridge.
All right, Oleg, Queensboro Bridge. All right, tell the class, now this is,
I'm
listen.
looking for one second.
All right, he'll look for it, he'll get it. But listen, everybody else, I'm gonna add to this information. And when we do the writing assignment, you can write about the image you picked, or you can write about an image that somebody else picked, you know, your choice. It's always best to write about what fascinates you. Sorry to interrupt. So, okay, Queensboro Bridge, go ahead.
For the who, we didn't really get a who. And the what is the Queensboro Bridge. For where, in Queens. And when is 1909, from what it says in the description. And the why is they wanted to document the creation of the bridge.
Okay, excellent. So let me add to that by saying that probably as a historian, the most important transportation development for Queens was the Queensboro Bridge. And let me give you one piece of information. In 1920, there were about 100,000 people living in Queens. By 1930, there were 1 million people living in Queens. And I would say that part of that reason is because of the building of the Queensboro Bridge. In addition to that, bringing the elevated line, right, over the bridge. And so the outer roadway that now has, does it still have cars, the outer roadway of the Queensboro Bridge? Does anybody know that? I mean, I haven't been over it. Does it still have cars?
Yes.
Okay, so think about this. You're gonna love this. That outer roadway had a trolley, had a train that went back and forth over the Queensboro Bridge. You got on 57th Street in Manhattan, and you got off in Long Island City. And the outer roadway was basically a train, a trolley train that shuttled people back and forth. I actually have a video of that. Oleg put out a note to remind me to show the class that video the next time we meet. And I would say as the major theme of the Queensboro Bridge is that it was one of the major reasons why you have so many people living in Queens, because the key is that you could then go from Manhattan and go out to Queens. And the thing I'm going to add is this, that it was very important for the children of people living in Manhattan to get away from their parents. So here's the point. You're newly married, your first baby is coming, and you really don't want to live with your mother-in-law. You're tired of living with your family in Manhattan. Now you've got the Queensboro Bridge. It's open. It's cheaper to get a house or rent an apartment in Queens. You're newly married, you're raising a family. And so the Queensboro Bridge enables that younger generation to leave the east side of Manhattan. I'm going like this because that's the route they would take, and go over the Queensboro Bridge, have a place of their own. But as you all could figure out, they still want to see their family. So it was easy to get back on the weekends for families to get together. So I would add that as a really important point for the Queensboro Bridge, that it enabled the next generation, your generation, to leave the family, but stay connected. And that's very important in terms of transit. Okay, questions about the Queensboro Bridge? Okay, next photo. Group 2. Who's group 2, Oleg? Oleg, you're muted.
Yeah, I know. It's group 2. It's Christian and Francesca.
Okay, Christian or Francesca, which photo did you pick?
We chose the same one.
Is that great? Is that great? Let me
Yeah,
tell you,
they did the job for us.
let me tell you one funny story. You don't have to show it again, Oleg. I just want to tell a one funny story. Many, many years ago, I was teaching this course, giving this assignment, and one student wrote, "Where could you go on such a little bridge?" I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that, what that student wrote. Where could you go on this little bridge? Okay, so it's been a favorite. All right, group 3. Oleg, who's group 3?
Jason and Jonathan.
Well, Jason disappeared. I don't know. Jason's computer had a problem. Jonathan.
No. It's different, Jason.
Oh, different Jason. All right, Jason
Yeah.
or Jonathan, which photo did you pick?
At Clark Bridge.
You picked the bridge?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we did.
Is this amazing? Unbelievable. Okay, group 4. Oh, wait a minute, group 3. Jonathan or Jason, do you want to add anything?
Jason, speak for me.
Basically already explained everything. It's yeah, it made a lot of people go to Queens. Made property expensive, rent expensive and everything, because more people are moving there. And yeah, that's all I got.
I would add 2 things. Instead of the word made people go to Queens, I would use the word enabled rather than made, and enabled people to go to Queens. And the other thing I would add to what you said is that, and this is very interesting and important, it created jobs. What's that?
Oh, nothing.
No, it created jobs because you have all these people moving out to Queens, and so you have to build more housing, right? You need more schools, you need more firehouses, you need more police, you need more public schools, you need more roads. You see what it does? So it has a ripple effect. It creates jobs. Okay, group 4, what did you pick? And if you tell me Queensboro Bridge, I'm home already, so I can't say I'm going home. Group 4, who's in group 4, Oleg?
Joseph Calantra and Luis Taveras.
Okay, group 4, what did you pick?
I think I was in a group with Luis, no?
Yes.
Yeah, Camila,
right.
you was.
Carmela, Luis, what did you pick?
Wow.
Okay, I picked, what month was it? It was the June one.
What did it look like?
It was the tunnel. So it's not a bridge, but it's still about Queens and Manhattan.
All right, and give me the 5 W's on the tunnel.
Cool. It was William Steinway was the one who thought about the idea of connecting the underground between Manhattan and Queens. And they started it in 1892, but an explosion happened and it like kind of scared everybody off to doing it, so they put it off for a while. And then in what was it, like a decade passed, and then August Belmont was the one to restart it basically. And so then they did test runs and they just kept like trying to build it. It took them until 1915 to complete the whole thing. But then it finally provided access to Queens via the underground.
So let's see, you said who, right? You said who, you said where.
It
you
was
said when.
yeah, I said what as
you
well.
did what, but did you do why?
It was to connect the two cities easier so that people can have transportation between Manhattan and Queens.
Okay, ready to take notes? I'll give you a little bit more on this.
Okay.
Everybody can take notes if they want, if you're gonna write about this image. The reason Steinway and Belmont invested in this is because they owned land in Queens
Oh,
and they
okay.
were gonna make a lot of money. Think about it. If they enabled it and made it easier for people to get from Manhattan to Queens, right? What does that do? That as somebody said it earlier, I think it was Jason, I'm not remembering the name, but one of you said earlier, land values go up. And these guys, William Steinway, who starts the Steinway Piano Company, and August Belmont, who was an investor in land and real estate, and Belmont Racetrack is named after him. Belmont and Steinway owned a lot of land in Queens. They owned over 400 acres of land in Queens. So if in building this tunnel, their land, they were going to make a lot of money on land. Also, something that's going to surprise you, all transit lines were privately owned. They weren't owned by the city. So this was going to be their private rail line. You're going to pay them to use this. This wasn't owned by New York yet. It's to this day, that number 7 train that goes from Manhattan that emerges into Long Island City, it's still called the Steinway Tunnel. It's the same tunnel. This is the same tunnel that exists today. But when it opens in 1915, it's owned, this line is owned by Steinway and Belmont, which is, I think, very interesting. The other thing I want to tell you about is the explosion. So it's a cold winter's day in 1892, and this guy is having lunch, and he lights a fire, right, to warm himself up. Well, he happens to be sitting next to all the dynamite. And he blows the whole thing up. He just blows this one guy. It's amazing, but it's one person who's cold on a winter's day.
Oh my God.
Blows the whole thing up, and it doesn't open again until 1915. It's a great story.
I mean, like, not for him, but
No, not for him. He's blown away. But the whole
it's a hilarious story for us, but it sucks.
Right. I'm glad you said that. You're right. Right. You're right. Okay, who's next? Group 5, is it?
Yeah, Narisa and Pedro.
All right, Narisa and Pedro, which photo did you pick?
We chose the horse and buggy.
The horse and buggy. Let me find it. The horse and buggy. Oleg, can you find it? Yeah, the horse and buggy.
Horse and
Valuable
buggy.
possessions. Go ahead. While Oleg's looking for it, tell us the 5 W's about the horse and buggy.
Okay, the who
It's this
was,
one? Transfer.
was
No.
the one top. Yeah, that one right there.
One.
That one?
No, the one above it.
No, it's the one with the
Number
horse
5.
and buggy, a valuable possession.
No, it's number 6.
5. Number 6.
Just
Is that
go.
one?
This one?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Okay.
The one with the horse?
The horse and buggy. Go ahead, tell us. Give us the 5 W's on that.
The who is John Kelly.
Good.
The when was in 1906. The where was in a rural town somewhere in Long Island City,
No,
in
I think
Western Queens.
I think it's Bayside.
Hmm?
I think if you look at the second, look at the.
Yeah, it's a.
I think it's Bayside.
Probably.
Am I reading that right?
No, it says it right there. The industrial setting of Long Island City in Western Queens.
Wait a minute.
I think it's in front of the store on Bell Boulevard. That's the where.
This is interesting. Removed. So no, but this is in. I'm reading. It says it's Bayside in 19 was a rural town. So this is a rural town removed from the industrial setting of Long Island City in Western Queens. So it's basically saying, and it's confusing, this is not Long Island City. It's removed from Long Island City, and this is this rural Bayside. But who said something about where they think it is?
If you read further, it says John Kelly is shown here in front of the store on Bell Boulevard.
Oh, it's on Bell Boulevard. So the where is Bell Boulevard in Bayside.
That's the where.
That's the where. And it's hard to say Bell Boulevard in Bayside fast, right? Okay, so we've got who, where, we have the what?
Hello?
Hello,
Which room?
I don't got the web, but the rest of probably got it.
what's that, Pedro?
What is
Oh.
the photo about?
Huh?
It's about the horse and buggy, and the why it was taken was it was taken to document the means of transportation which existed in that era, and it also emphasized how transportation encouraged the city's growth.
Excellent, excellent. And so let me add to this, and this is my guess, and this is interesting. It gets to the point of why do people take pictures? And if you think about your own lives, when do you take a picture? You take a picture at a birthday party, at a wedding, the new baby arrives, right? You take pictures at big occasions, right? And if we were in class together, I'd be looking around the room saying, oh, you're all nodding, so you get it. So my guess in terms of the why, and the why is usually a guess, is this is a new horse or a new buggy, and they're showing it off. That's why they took, because you got to ask the question in why did they take this picture, right? What's going on? Did they just buy the store? Did they just buy this horse? Did they get it? And I'm going to guess in the why, and it's called a hypothesis. And I'm going to say the why here is that they probably just bought this horse or they just bought this wagon. And that is, for me, the most fun part of the 5 W's is the why. Because who is obvious, what's going on in the photo is obvious. When it happened is, you can pick that up pretty quickly, and where it happened, those are basic things you can pick up. The why is really where you come in, and you can sort of use your imagination in these photos. And I'd like you to do that when you do your writing. Give me a little bit of your imagination in terms of why you think the photo was taken. That's the fun part of writing. And my enjoyment, and if I were writing about this, would be to say, Kelly just bought this horse. I started with, I think, because I'd let the reader know I'm not sure. Or Kelly just bought the wagon. Or, they're all dressed up. They're all standing real still. And I'll stop right there just because I want to emphasize that in the writing, the why is where you can have some fun. Okay, group, what are we up to? Oh, like group 6?
Group 6, yes. Semyak and Sarkar.
Okay, group 6. What's your photo?
Yeah, it's the Queensboro Bridge.
It's very popular.
I love it. Very popular. All right, group 7.
Arbaz and Tiffany. Hello.
Hello, group 7. Abbas and Tiffany. I can't hear you, Abbas or Tiffany.
The trolley women, the trolley conductors.
Oh my gosh, you picked my favorite photo. I love this photo. Okay, the trolley women. World War I. Go ahead. Tell me about it.
Yeah, the who.
No, I can't hear you. No, Tiffany, maybe you have a better connection.
Okay.
Go ahead, tell us, Tiffany.
So for the who, we wrote women as trolley conductors. And for the what, we wrote a group photo of conductorettes. And where it was taken, New York and Queens car barn in Woodside.
It was taken in Woodside.
1918. And the why, as stated in the paragraph, it says the shortage of male workers during World War I provided new employment opportunities for women throughout the city. And then it said that 10 months later, they were discharged and replaced by men.
All right, so in the writing, Tiffany, as a woman, what is your reaction to 10 months later they were discharged and replaced by men?
I was kind of appalled because I specifically chose this photo because it was a group of women, and during that time, well, from what it looks like, it's an old photo. So I was surprised to see women in a male-dominated like industry career-wise. And then when I read that part, it kind of made me feel like women weren't as appreciated as much as men, and they were kind of just used as literal replacements.
And what's your hypothesis of why women were not appreciated?
I'm assuming because they weren't viewed as equal to men at that time.
And do you feel it's changed, or do you feel it's the same way now?
I feel it has definitely changed, especially through women's liberation movement and feminism, which came shortly after.
So when you're on the subways and riding, do you see women bus drivers, and do you see women working on the subway system?
Yeah,
All right,
now more than ever, actually.
good. Okay, anybody have any questions? Oleg, could you go to our YouTube site and find the safe read video of the trolley going across the Queensboro Bridge? You think you could find that really quickly? On our YouTube?
Trolley on YouTube.
Yeah, can you find that really quickly? Because so many people picked the Queensboro Bridge. I'd like you to find that video of the safe read video of the of going across the Queensboro Bridge on the trolley line.
1 second, okay?
Okay. So
I
while
need
Oleg is finding that, we have about 12 minutes left for class. I want you to basically decide which of these photos you're going to write about. Make sure that you answer the 5 W's when you write. Make sure you put in your feelings about the photo in terms of why it was taken. And particularly, as Tiffany just did, if you have a personal reaction to the photo, you should put that in. Let me add one thing I forgot to add about the horse and buggy. Before the automobile, and you're going to write about that photo, you may want to write this down. Before the automobile, most of New York, in terms of transit, was by horse and buggy, horse-drawn traffic, the bicycle, or walking. One of the problems with having so many horses was horse manure. If you think about it, with all those horses traveling around the city, there's a lot of horse manure. And the city had to remove, you won't believe this, the city had to remove close to 500,000 tons of horse manure every day from the streets of New York. So the Department of Sanitation, one of its main jobs before the automobile was cleaning up the horse manure. Now, what was it used for? Well, part of it, the horse manure was used as landfill, and part of it, the horse manure was used to grow vegetables in Queens and Brooklyn. So it was used on farms, mixed into the soil. But it was a huge industry in New York because of all of the horses. Ola, could you find it?
Yeah, I found it.
All right,
Hold
share
on.
screen and show the class. You're gonna love it.
I will.
Let me introduce it. This is a video taken in the 1950s of a fellow that I met. And what he did was he just put his camera outside. He was riding the trolley over the Queensboro Bridge on those outer roadways. And all he did was sort of capture the scene, you know, as he was in the trolley going over the Queensboro Bridge. Okay, Oleg, you can show it now.
Is this one?
No, those are the trolleys. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
No?
No,
Okay,
that's
let me find out.
forget it. Never mind. We'll show it to you the next class.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any
Yeah.
questions? Anybody have any questions? You ready to write? By your silence, I can feel that you're ready to write. Okay. You've got 9 minutes to hand it in. Start writing, and at 2 o'clock, I want all of you to email me your 5 W's plus your own thoughts on the photo you picked. And I want to emphasize the why, because I really want to see your passion and your feelings about the photo. The other items, who's in it, what's going on, where and when, that's pretty much reporting. But I really want to see you get passionate about the photo in terms of why you think it was taken. Okay, I'll stop talking. You start writing, and in 8 minutes, send it to me. I'll see you Thursday. I'll see you, today's Thursday. I'll see you Tuesday at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Hey, Professor,
Oh.
I'm back.
You're back. Watch this. Put it on share screen. Watch this. This is the train going over the Queensboro Bridge.
It's on share screen.
Yeah. Ada, you're going to love this.
Oh my God.
Oleg loves it.
Yeah.
I love this
I
bridge.
remember in Soviet Union. So-
Look at those old cars. This is the trolley. It's in, I think it's in Long Island City now, about to go over the bridge.
This is very
Yeah,
interesting.
it's in Long Island City.
This is very interesting.
Yeah, don't you love? Look at this. I love this.
Yeah.
Look at
It's
this.
Queensboro Plaza right now.
It's a trolley going on Queensboro Plaza.
Чё? Какой стул?
Oleg, you better mute yourself.
Oh, sorry. My son.
I love these. It's so dark underneath the bridge, right? He'll emerge soon into the sunlight. And there it goes. It's going over. Look at this. It's on the outer roadway. Don't you love this? It's on the outer roadway of the Queensboro Bridge going over the bridge. You're now sitting in the first car in the trolley going over the Queensboro Bridge in the 1950s. And then it stops in the middle to let people off to go down to what was then called Blackwell's Island and now Roosevelt Island. And then it continues on. Oleg, send the link to this to all the students in the chat room. And also you can email it to all of them.
Professor, are you taking the ramp to Roosevelt Island from Manhattan right as soon as you cross the bridge?
Say it again.
Have you ever taken the ramp from from Manhattan to Roosevelt Island as soon as you cross the Queensboro Bridge? The tram that goes in the air?
Yeah, I took it. I'm very scared of heights. And so I really was very scared when I took it. But I took my bicycle and biked around Roosevelt Island and then biked from Roosevelt Island into Queens and went to Socrates Park where they have all of the statues. It was great.
It was my first experience as a rebel in high school. I cut school. I was like, you know what, today I'm going to do something great. So I crossed the bridge and I went into the tram. I was like, oh, that was my first time looking at it. And I was just cutting high school for the first time in my life. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do something. I didn't even know what it was. As soon as I got in, they're like, oh, we're going to go up the thing. I'm like, what?
How great that was.
Professor,
Yes.
my brother actually walked all the way through the Queensboro Bridge and back.
Well, ask your brother, because I'll tell you something, when you bike it, it's really like a little hill. I don't know about he felt it when he walked it. When I biked the Queensboro Bridge, you really have to pedal, particularly coming from the Queens. Okay, that's it. That's it. You can turn it off. Like it really goes up. It's quite steep, and then it comes down. So ask your brother about walking, whether walking was as difficult as biking. All right, we have 1 more minute left. Did everybody send me their paragraph?
Yes.
I'm working on it.
You're working on it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
sent it.
All right. Make sure I got it. I will not be grading it, but I will you saw what I do. I send you corrections and things I like and sort of try to encourage you to be creative in your writing and tell me more. I'm always looking, you'll see this with me. I'm always looking for examples. I'm always looking for details because that's what makes an interesting story. It's all in the details. It's all in the examples. So keep that in mind when you're sending work off to me and to any of your classes, that what you really want to do is fill it with details, fill it with examples. And even in discussing stuff with other people, everybody wants to know the details. You know, everybody wants to know what happened last night. You say, you say, I went to a wild party. Hey, tell me what was wild about it. Just tell me you went to a wild party. I want to know what happened. All right. So I'll see you all. Have a good weekend, a safe weekend. Stay healthy. Send me this, what you just wrote, and I'll be in touch. And I'll see you on Tuesday, and we'll start to look at Gotham and and Henry Hudson and the development of New Amsterdam. Okay, so be well, stay safe, take care. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
See you
Professor.
next week.
Bye, Professor.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, bye.
Ciao, ciao.
All right. So just move on. Let it go, and let's move on.
Okay, thank you.
All right.